Hi, this is Dan Weedin. I'm a crisis management expert, and today we're going to talk about what are the issues and problems that any crisis management plan should protect for and consider when you're putting it together. There's four main things. Now, out of all of these four, there's many subcategories, but we only have time to really touch on these four. And the first one is probably the most important: suspension of operations. Businesses need to be operating in order to make money and revenue and pay the bills and pay employees and make an income. So if you have any type of suspension of operations, that's a problem. That can come from a fire, that can come from a sprinkler leakage, and the most popular one is loss of power. For most places, if you lose power because of a windstorm or something like that, you've got a big problem. So you have to account for suspension of operations first. The second thing you need to consider, the second issue, is redundancy. And I'm talking primarily about technology. All businesses today are using technology and must use them in order to be successful. If something happens where you're not able to pull up your data, that's a real problem. You need to have a situation where you're not only backing up locally, but potentially out of area as well, because you have to have the redundancy to be able to pull back that data quickly. The third area is insurance. I know insurance isn't the sexiest topic and people don't really like to talk about it, but you literally can't afford some of the horrible things that can happen, the disasters that can happen. You can't afford it. So you need to be able to put into place a strong insurance program with the help of a very good insurance broker and probably a consultant as well. And then finally, you need to talk about, in your crisis planning, what's the business continuation model look like? If we have 80 employees and we have a fire, where are we going to put 80 employees tomorrow? You have to have another place to go. Now, for different businesses, you might, if you're small enough, you might be able to go to your home. If you have 300 employees, not so easy. So you have to have a plan in place before the crisis happens so that you can very quickly and efficiently be up and operating immediately, as quickly as possible, because you don't want to lose revenue. So go through those four things again. Number one is suspension of operations. Number two is redundancy. Number three is insurance. And finally, business continuation. Those are the big four when you're looking at what are the issues that you need to discuss in your crisis management program. This has been Dan Weedin. We'll see you next time.